Hello and welcome back to the Two Tiers Deep podcast. It's a big one. It's a massive one. It's our pre-season episode. There's 3 days to go until the season. Chloe, how are you?
I'm so excited. This is a mega episode. Some serious all three tier players coming on the pod. 3 days till the season starts. 4 days for me till the season starts. The sun is shining. I'm good. How are you?
I'm thriving. We've got 6 guests for you today. No, I'm not joking. Six,
Seven.
everyone. 7, including true, 7. 7 guests.
We had a double. 7.
Damn. I hope you all are ready for this because we've had an absolute blast, pun totally intended, recording these over the past week or so.
And some more even exciting news. You get to hear us twice this week. You guys need to come back on Friday too, because we have got an unbelievable episode coming out, which I actually cannot wait to listen to again.
I'm going to be honest, Chloe, I think we've outdone ourselves.
I think the whole journalist and cricketer have come in hand for this podcast that's coming out on Friday. I cannot wait.
It's so exciting. Before we tell you about all of the wonderful guests who will be joining us, who you probably already know about because you've read the episode title, but pretend there's anticipation. We are going to give you our full and complete predictions for the 2026 cricket season. I'm quite nervous about this, Chloe, because I got everything right last year, and I don't think I'm ever going to be able to do that again. I think I've peaked and I'm now on the floor.
Yeah, and I may have gone a little bit of a favouritism with my predictions across maybe tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. But no bias here, no bias, absolutely no bias.
Shall we start with tier 3?
Let's go with it. So, as we established, or I guess maybe yourself established, in tier 3, we have 2 divisions across the 50 over comp and the T20 comp. So there's 4 predictions for us in tier 3. So let's start with the 50 over comp, the winner of the Division 2.
For my Div 2 One Day Cup champion, I have Hertfordshire.
Ooh, I've gone for Oxfordshire. Shall we go for the Division 1 One Day Cup winners? And maybe I've gone a little bit biased here, but we won't tell anyone.
I've gone with Devon.
Not a bad shout, to be fair. Very competitive side. And I've gone for my homegrown county of Buckinghamshire because I've seen how hard the girls have worked this winter and how well they performed last year. And I'm so excited to see how they're going to go.
Shall we have a look at our Div 2 T20 champions? We've both gone a bit rogue here.
Yeah, so I've gone Midlands based. I've gone for Shropshire are going to win the Division 2 title and be promoted into Division 1 for the 2027 season.
And I've gone for Dorset. I'm backing the girls there.
Yeah. Strong contention, to be fair, because they've obviously got good links with Vipers and young academy girls and players. 2 really strong choices there. Division 1, the Vitality Tier 3 Division 1 T20 champions are...
I've gone rogue again. I'm backing Staffordshire.
Do you know what? I wouldn't say that's rogue. I think they're a fairly strong unit, to be fair, and quite a consistent unit. And I've obviously I've gone for Bucks to do the double in Division 1 this year. Which
no bias here.
No bias at all, but Bucks obviously they finished second. They were runners up in Division 1 T20 campaign last year. So I think the only way is up to go one further. Let's see if any of those predictions come in, I guess. Let's go to tier 2, the One Day Cup winners.
My tier 2 One Day Cup champions for 2026 are Glamorgan. Made it to the final last year. I think they'll go one further this year.
I guess that sort of makes sense if we look at Yorkshire last year of them moving into Tier 1 this season, and I guess that's Glamorgan's pathway for them at the end of the season is to be moving up to Tier 1, so we do want to see them dominate. But I am playing in Tier 2, and I am backing my girls. I'm backing my girls at Northants. We obviously got to the semi-final against Glamorgan last year in the One Day Cup, so I'm backing the girls. I'm backing myself that we are going to be the Tier 2 One Day Cup winners.
To be fair, I have put shout out Northants because I am backing you guys to make it to both semi-finals and potentially finals. But I'm going to get cancelled live on the Two Tiers Deep podcast because I haven't put Northants for either of my champions.
No, so let's move on to the Tier 2 Blast, Vitality Blast champions, and I wonder who I've picked. But we'll go for you first.
I've gone for Middlesex. I think they're going to go back to back. They were unbelievable in that comp last year, and it looks like they've retained their core again. So I'd expect them to go pretty far, definitely make the finals day, and maybe edge Glamorgan, a repeat of what happened to Yorkshire last season.
To be fair, yeah, Middlesex. If I put my coaching head on and my non-tier 2 playing head on, yeah, Middlesex is a strong contention for that. But obviously, I'm backing my girls again. I'm backing the team. Northants are going for the double this year for the T20 Blast and the One Day Cup trophy, and they're both going to be coming home to the county ground at the end of the season.
I'm really looking forward to making a graphic of this.
Just me holding 2 trophies, like, yeah.
It would be great content for the Two Tiers Deep podcast. Come on, get that double.
I mean, that's the aim, isn't it? I guess we've all had a year now in Tier 2, Tier 3 and Tier 1. But yeah, seeing the level of Tier 2, I guess last year I back the girls at Northants. We've got a really strong unit and recruited well. So obviously I'm not going to say any other team. I can appreciate that there are some good other Tier 2 sides out there, but I'm backing my girls.
I will have it on record on the pod that if you make finals, I will wear a Chloe Hill shirt in the press box during the finals days of these tournaments.
You heard it here first, team. You heard it here first. Let's go. Should we round up with our Tier 1 predictions and the County Cup predictions before we move on?
We should indeed. Should we start again with some One Day Cup?
Let's go with the One Day Cup. And this year, I'm backing Lancs again to retain their title. I think we saw how strong they were last year, and for them to actually walk away with 2 trophies, that was sort of their 5-year plan. And obviously now they've got Kate Cross in their armoury for the full season. I'm backing Lancs for the One Day Cup.
This was really hard, and I'm going to be for real with the listeners. I have 3 teams down, but because I was still deciding. No. I'm only going to pick one. I'm only going to pick one. Don't you worry. I am going to back the Blaze. It's a bold one because of the players they're going to be missing. But I think because of the timing of the One Day Cup, I would be surprised if they walked away without a trophy this season. And the timing of the One Day Cup is their most likely shout at a trophy, I think. So I'm going to go with Blaze for the One Day Cup. Don't let me down, guys. Come on now.
Interesting. Do you want to go for the Tier 1 Vitality Blast or the County Cup?
Let's go to Blast.
Blast, I'm going for Surrey. I think they're just such a dominant team in the T20 format, even when they were South East Stars. I think it's hard to look past a Surrey side not being there or thereabouts in a finals day for a T20 comp. So yeah, Surrey, they're retaining their title as well. Lancashire and Surrey are holding their own.
I have gone with Lancashire for the Blast. I think it's the one they were missing last season, and they'll want to really complete that set. And I think that hunger will probably get them over the line in that tournament.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. And I think they've got such a consistent, strong side that on the day, Lancs in a T20 are pretty formidable. And now the mighty County Cup that all three tiers are a part of. I have to say I've gone for a tier one side. I would like to go. I could have been selfish and a bit biased and gone for myself at Northants to maybe get 3 trophies this year. But I've actually gone for the Blaze. I'm backing them to bring in some young academy fringe players to surprise people. So I'm backing the Blaze for the County Cup.
That's a shout. I like that.
Who are you
I
going for?
was really torn between being really bold and really predictable. So my boldness is Warwickshire. My predictability is Surrey. I think Warwickshire will make it far in the tournament again, maybe into the final. But I think Surrey, as you've said, you can't look over their T20 quality. They have an unbelievable squad. They have a lot of squad depth, which is going to be very important for that tournament specifically. And I don't see them leaving the season without a trophy. So Surrey are my County Cup champions.
Lots of trophies for Surrey, Lancashire, the Blaze, Northants.
Away Northants.
And I look forward to seeing who's going to be the winners in tier 3 across your predictions and my predictions and see who is right and who is wrong come the end of the season.
So, like I should say to the listeners that Chloe said to me when she came on to record, is it really bad if I say Northants for both? And I was like, no, back yourself. Do it.
And we've got our first game this Sunday. Sunday, the 12th of April, against Kent at home at the County Ground. So yeah, really excited for that one. Hopefully the sun's shining and we don't get affected by any bad weather, but this weather this week's beautiful.
I really hope I don't go back to Wales and it rain on me. Please, we need everyone to be manifesting lovely sunny weather for the opening of the women's cricket season this weekend. And get down. Go and support your local women's side, even if that's not a tier 1, tier 2 or tier 3 side, even if that's club cricket. Just go out and support women's cricket. It's a massive year with the World Cup. Get behind it.
Wow. Rosa, we have got an exciting rest of the pod. We have got 6 teams across 3 tiers that we've got players from that are going to preview the season ahead, which starts in 3 days, like we've just said.
We have indeed. For tier 1, we've got Marie Kelly of the Blaze.
And Ryana MacDonald-Gay from Surrey.
In tier 2, we've got our very own Chloe Hill giving her insights on Northants.
And we've also got Hayley Brown of Leicestershire.
And then in tier 3, we've got Bucks women's captain, Cara Duggan.
And from Hertfordshire, we've got 2 players, Jenna Botha and Chloe Eayrs, giving their insights on their season ahead with Hertfordshire.
A big one. There's a lot of exclusive insights coming your way. Do you want to tell everyone who we're starting with?
First up on the pod for you guys to listen to, it's Marie Kelly from The Blaze.
Hi.
Hello.
You okay?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you. I'm good.
Perfect. So let's get going. I'll start with the first question.
Ready?
Okay.
Lovely.
So what is the vibe like in the squad right now heading into the season?
Definitely excitement and quite a bit of an itch to get out there. We've just got back from Desert Springs where we played 2 games out there, which went really well. We won both and it was really good to get everyone kind of trying out new skills and things like that. And I think the feeling at the minute is almost like wanting to play more warm-up games and more practice games because everyone's got so many skills they want to practice and get out there. So we're off to Essex tomorrow and then I think we've got some internal stuff as well before we head out into the season.
What's the expectation within the group this year?
I think with the Blaze it's always to win. Like we've got the trophies up on the wall at Trent Bridge, so we've seen how many times the men have won. We've obviously seen our Charlotte Edwards Cup win and a couple of Abu Dhabi T20 trophies up there as well. But the goal is always to win any competition that we're a part of, and that's always a massive thing. Always set really high. not really too much of a complicated answer there. We want to win everything that we do.
What's the biggest thing you are personally focusing on heading into this season?
I think it's always scoring runs. I think that's probably always the main one. I think always trying to contribute to as many wins as possible. And I think the way the game's moving, that's not necessarily now always kind of weight of runs or length of time at the crease. I think a big thing, especially in T20, is having a quick impact, and especially my role in the power play is having a big impact really quickly. So it's kind of getting your head around what success looks like in T20 cricket now. It's probably a little bit more different to how I always thought of success. It's always to spend more time at the crease, but we're pretty big on roles at the Blaze and knowing what your role is and doing that well. So yeah, hopefully just contributing to as many wins and as many games as possible.
Is there anything technically you've been working on over the winter, or anything new that we might see out there on the pitch?
I've definitely been working on some power hitting stuff. So I think I've always been quite a bit of a technical player, or like to kind of think about my technique. And one thing that's always kind of bothered me is my left forearm. I don't think is very strong, or I don't really kind of extend through the ball. And I think that can kind of lead to not just from a technical looking pretty point of view, but actually from getting some more power if you have a strong top hand. So I've been working on that loads this winter. It's coming off well against kind of bowler machine and bowlers in the nets, but I'd like to try and translate that into games so that you're not just clearing the ropes by a couple of meters, but hopefully trying to get it fully into the stands and provide some more entertaining cricket.
Obviously, going into this season, who do you think your toughest opponent will be in the 50 over comp and the T20 comp?
Well, that's a great question. I think Lancs have done really well over the last couple of years and built a pretty strong squad. And we always seem to have really good games against them. I think we always go in really confidently, and the game's just always a good game of cricket. I think the skills match up very nicely. So it's just whoever does the skills better on the day. So that would be a big one for us. And then I think Stars always look strong. They always come out hard. Again, just probably similar squad depth too. So I think that will be probably a big game. Sorry, Surrey. I mean, not Stars. It's so hard to go back to changing counties. Surrey will be strong as well. But yeah, they always seem to be kind of our probably closest or toughest rivals, Lancs and Surrey.
Obviously, we're heading into our second year now of Project Darwin. How have you found it so far? And are there any areas that you'd like to see worked on?
I think it's benefited Tier 1 really nicely. Obviously, I probably don't have many complaints as a Tier 1 player. I think from kind of having my ear on the ground around kind of Tier 2 and Tier 3, I think there's potentially some concerning kind of gaps there that I think we might need to kind of have a look at, especially around probably players in the north, I'd say, in that if you can't get into a Yorkshire or Lancashire, your closest Tier 2 side is a Derby or Leicester, who are also then taking players from the south as well who can't get into the Middlesexes, the Sussex, those kind of regions. So, and then quite rightly, teams like Derby and Leicester are going to want to prioritise their academy players too. You've then potentially got Blaze academy players looking for games around the Midlands too. So it just all seems quite congested, I'd say, and I'm not really sure. I don't know what the right answer is at all, but something I probably picked up on that might need to be an area to work on, whether there's, I don't know, another couple of Tier 2 teams potentially, or maybe looking at getting Tier 3 a bit stronger so people have got more competitive cricket to play. But I think it's good problems. It shows there's players out there that are able to play that standard of cricket and need to be playing that standard of cricket. But we need to probably try and find a way to accommodate that standard, or we might lose a couple of those players.
100%. And in terms of the Blaze, is there any players that we should be keeping an eye out where it might be a breakthrough year for them, whether that's a youngster coming through or someone who's maybe always not on that headline on the article for the Blaze?
I think Ella Claridge is always kind of quietly working away. She started really well this year, obviously, and played for America as well in the qualifiers and did really well against Scotland for them. Loads of energy in the field too, so I think she'll be someone to look out for us. And then we've signed Emma Jones too, so her ability to strike a ball is phenomenal, and she's bowled bounces at me all winter. with a rapid floor at Trembridge. So hopefully she pulls some of those out against some opposition and not me instead this summer. But yeah, I'd say probably those two are the ones to watch out for.
Is there a player you particularly enjoy watching from a different county?
Oh, that's a great question. I think Dav Perrin, when she gets going, is exciting to watch. Obviously that 100 in the 100 was like pretty mesmerising to watch. I was really buzzing for her because I think she's always shown that kind of glimpse of potential, and then I could just see from early on in that innings, I was like, this is going to be a special one. It just had that kind of feel about it. So yeah, she's really exciting. Don't like playing against her too much, but I like watching her when she does well. Yeah, and I think Ella McCacken had a good start to last year, didn't she, as well? Shaped up really nicely, and unfortunately got injured. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how her season goes. But she started so well last year. So yeah, they're probably my two.
Nice. So we've spoken so much about the start of the season, but when we get to the end of the season, what does a successful year look like for you personally and the Blaze?
Definitely competing for trophies. That's obviously goal number one. We obviously want to be in every finals day, including the County Cup. Like, we want to be winning every competition we're part of. The more cricket that we're playing at the minute, the better. And then, yeah, for me, contributing to get into those finals, and then obviously on the finals days, you want to be the one that gets the team over the line, and probably fell short of that last year in the semi-finals against Lancs, probably in particular. So especially as you become more of an experienced player in the side, you kind of want to be the one to put your hand up and hopefully get some silverware for the club.
For our listeners, you're currently wearing one of your caps from your new project, Versatail. Where did the idea come from?
So for years, I've always cut holes into my cricket caps to play in, because I hate wearing my hair in a low ponytail. Caps were always too big for me. I hated the Velcro. I thought it was absolutely ridiculous. But then we were often given caps that didn't even have an opening in at the back at all. So they were too big anyway, and they had no hole in at all. So I often cut holes in. And then when I was in Perth 2 winters ago, I was having to wear caps basically every single day. And that's when, instead of wearing it once a week, it was every single day. That's where it really kind of got to me. And I thought, well, there's got to be something out there. If we're in Perth as well, where it's like 40 degrees every day, I thought, if there's got to be something out here. And just looked into it, and there were a few kind of attempts to make things that were different for women, but all of them, I felt you had to kind of compromise on either style, function, or kind of fit. There was always something that was like, oh, that's great, but it doesn't have this, or oh, that's great, but it hasn't got that. So I thought, okay, why don't I take some time to try and create one, start from scratch, and think, what would we actually want in a cap? And that's where Versatail came from, and the name comes from being versatile and adaptable, and that's what I wanted you to be able to wear this cap, whether you're playing cricket, golf, any sports, whether you're just kind of walking the dog or picking the kids up from school, whatever it might be. And I thought the name at 3 a.m, woke up and I was like, versatile, that's what it's going to be. So yeah, that's where it came from.
Nice. And have any skills from cricket helped you with the business side?
Oh yeah, absolutely, loads, and probably vice versa as well. I think the main thing is problem solving. That 100%. I think in cricket, especially 50 over cricket, you're faced with so many problems consistently, and there might not be really big ones, might actually be little obstacles that you've got to get over and find a way to do it. And that's exactly what kind of the business stuff has taught me. And then probably like not looking too far ahead. I think the same with cricket is everybody wants to score 100 or take 5 wickets, but you probably don't have that as your overarching goal all the time. You kind of break it down into smaller steps, and that's probably the same with the business. And that I had the idea to make the caps, which seemed quite a far-fetched idea, so then it kind of broke it down into a lot smaller steps that I could achieve. So yeah, so many transferable skills.
What's your long-term vision for Versatail?
The main thing genuinely that I really want from it is just as many women and girls to be able to wear it as possible. Or I really want young girls playing sport to grow up not even realizing that like the products that they're wearing weren't made for them. I just want them to be like, oh, okay, I've got a bobble hat that I can wear my hair up in, cool. Like, or rather than, or oh, I've got to wear this cap again, it's ridiculously too big, or I don't want to wear this cap, I look stupid. Like, I want them to be just have something that was made for them. I think long term as well, there's so many sports that this could be beneficial for. Like, obviously, I've started this out for cricket, but for the bobble hats, for like football, there's tennis, there's golf, loads of school sport. Like, there's so many different avenues that this can take. So it's probably not getting too overwhelmed with it to start with, taking it one step at a time, and then seeing where it gets to, and maybe sell it for lots of money near the end.
Does having something like Versatail on the side help you sort of switch off from cricket, or does it add more pressure?
So far, it's really helped me switch off from cricket, especially when I can be not necessarily probably an overthinker, but just someone that likes to think about the game. You have a lot of kind of dead time in cricket where you're sat to your thoughts or just you're in the game all the time. It can be quite consuming. So I think it's just been really good having something different to put some energy into on my days off. When we have kind of like long coach journeys, I'm actually really looking forward to them now, because I'm thinking that's a chance to get some work done or have some time that I can do some things for Versatail on the side. So whilst we're very busy in the cricket season, there can often be quite a lot of dead time where you can't really do much, but you kind of have to be somewhere. So hopefully that will help kind of kill a bit of time from that point of view. And I think it's about setting up something for the future as well. Like, I'm 30 now, so probably going to play for another 4 or 5 years. So it's kind of just looking at what can be down the line. What do I want as a career for myself? Not necessarily like, I don't know if I want to stay in the game or not. I probably will, but it's just having another option in case I'm sick of the game by then. But we'll see what happens.
We like to end our podcasts with a little bit of a quick fire, because you can't go wrong. First and foremost, T20 or 50 over?
Oh, T20.
Bat first or bowl first?
Depends on the pitch. I'm a conditions gal.
Respect it. Best bowler you faced?
Ooh, probably Sophie Ecclestone. She's got to be up there, I'd say.
Which teammate is most likely to be late for a team meet time?
That's tough. I'm gonna say Prisha. She's a very busy student, to be fair. She's got a lot going on, but she is a little late.
Music in the dressing room. Who's in charge?
To be fair, Simon Guy takes that role quite a bit. He brings his own speaker. He's got a massive boom box, and to be fair, he asks us what kind of vibe we're feeling, but he's got all of the playlists. So it's usually him, to be fair.
Who would you say the biggest joker is in the dressing room?
Oh gosh, probably Kirsty. Especially on game day, like, she's so hyper. And likes to play a few pranks for sure.
The $1 million question: coffee or tea?
Tea, 100%. Not really. I'm actually not that much of a coffee drinker. Gives me the shake, so I'll say tea.
And what series are you watching at the moment?
We are watching The Night Agent 2. Wait, is it Night Agent or Night Manager? I can't remember which one.
Night Agent.
The Night Agent, yeah, that one. Yeah, that's really good.
Nice. And just before we finish, obviously we've spoken about Versatail. Where can, I guess, listeners find you, or find the caps, or find the bobble hats?
Yeah, so if you follow us on Instagram at versatail.uk, or the website is versatail.co.uk. And I forgot to mention that if you're part of a club team, you can do like embroidery for club orders as well. And that's probably been the most kind of prolific thing that's happened kind of this year. So loads of clubs have been getting in touch. So it's not too late if you want to get an order in before the season. Then let me know. I can sort it quickly.
I could definitely vouch for them. Obviously, I'm wearing a high ponytail, as you know.
Been repping them out in India.
Yeah, even the bobble hat as well in the winter has been great. So definitely recommend.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, good. Thanks for having me. Hope it's going well.
Next up on the pod, we've got Leicestershire's Hayley Brown.
Hello.
Hey.
UK.
Yeah, I'm good. You guys have got
We're
the
not.
proper gear on and all sorts.
God, I'm not in my usual setup today, because I'm away for the week and I'm on the tiniest side table. And when I move slightly, there's a risk everything topples. So if you see my microphone go, it didn't happen. First of all, what's the vibe like in the squad right now, heading into the new season?
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, we've got quite a few new girls in the lineup this year, I would say. It's quite a young squad. Unfortunately, I'm now the oldest at the grand age of 28. So yeah, there's a lot of young guns coming through. And I
Wow.
think, yeah, I know. I think everyone's just eager to get going. I think we've got Sussex first up. But it's a home game, so it'll be good to be on like home turf. So yeah, I think we're all just pretty keen to get going. We've had a couple pre-seasons, but it was very cold. So I don't think it really felt like the real deal, if you know what I mean. But the vibe in camp is good. It's always been pretty lighthearted, and there's been like a strong emphasis on fun with the coaches and stuff. So yeah, I think we're all just raring to get going.
And what's the expectation within the group for this year across both competitions?
Oh, I mean, I wasn't too heavily involved last year in the T20 stuff, but I know the girls got a bit further there than the 50 over comp, I believe. But I think anything, you know, all of us are like just striving to win as many games as we can without putting too fine a point on it. I know everyone's probably got the same goal, but I know that's going to be like a definite work in progress. With regards to like having a new squad and like everyone gelling again, working out how, you know, everyone works, what everyone's strengths are, stuff like that. So I think just enjoy it as well. I think, yeah, it's important for us all not to get like too bogged down on the result and just take it like game by game and give it our best shot.
What's the biggest thing that you're personally focusing on heading into the new season?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I wasn't too heavily involved in the T20 stuff last year. I've always been like probably a bit stronger at the longer format stuff, but I have been able to pull out the odd, you know, fast-paced innings when it's been required, I suppose, when the going gets tough. So I think for me, like it would just be showing I can still like perform in the shorter format. You know, I'm not just going to Jeffrey boycott the whole thing and whip the forward defensive out constantly. So yeah, I think like for me personally, it would just be seeing my name on that team sheet a little bit more often. And yeah, I was fortunate enough to produce like a ton at the end of last year as well in the 50 over comp. And I think like for me, it would just be standing up, taking accountability as a bit of a like senior player in the squad as well, and putting out performances like that a little bit more often if I get the opportunity. Personally,
You've got to be the senior player at 28 now.
I know that's so rough, isn't it? I miss the days. They've definitely brought the average down last year. I had a few more players in my camp on the other side of 25 last year, but no, they've all disappeared to have kids and stuff, which is super selfish. But you know.
No, and I guess for you personally, have you worked on anything new over this winter that we might see that's different in Hayley Brown's cricketing journey this summer?
Just getting the ball off the square, really. No, I don't know. I've definitely. I always. I think a lot of the younger girls will like laugh at me because I know it doesn't sound like I'm that old at 28, but I would say the game shifted a lot in quite a short space of time, and like I was definitely brought up on a different version of cricket to like a lot of what the girls will be now. Like, you know, this generation's definitely grown up on like T20, 100 cricket and stuff. And so for me, I think I'm never going to be that player that like muscles it out the ground for six and stuff like that. But I definitely have been working on trying to turn those dot balls into ones and twos and just like, you know, putting the pressure back on the bowler to do something a little bit different. And yeah, making sure I'm like keeping that strike rotating, which has always been the goal and has been the goal for the last couple of years. But you know, there's also been a lot of changes in the system and stuff that's meant that it's been a little bit disjointed, and we've gone from having lots of club cricket alongside county cricket, and now that's maybe not the situation so much anymore. I don't know if that's the same for everyone's area, but it certainly is around where I live. And so, yeah, like I've not been able to put stuff into practice as much as I would like to, but it's been a long winter and we've worked really hard. So, yeah, I think for me, it's just putting into plan the things that I've, been working on for the last couple of seasons, really. But with inconsistency in selection and stuff, it's kind of been hard to really work out if that's happened yet. So, yeah, that'll be my goal this year.
And then looking at your opposition, who is the toughest opposition you're expecting to face both in the T20 comp and the 50 over comp?
Oh, you're asking me now because I know this doesn't sound very professional, but I feel like it helps me stay in quite a present headspace. But I honestly just see if I'm in the squad and turn up. So I've got to remind myself like the kind of candidates we're going to come up against here. But I'm trying to think who gave us a real good run for our money last year. Do you know, I played for Northants for like 11 years of my career, and I feel like it was always a really level playing field against those guys. And I think like sometimes we came out on top and sometimes they came out on top, and they've got a lot of class players of which I used to spend a lot of time with and stuff, and they've got a few newbies too. But I mean, yeah, I'd love to come out on top of that one, just for my own ego as much as anything. So yeah, maybe Northants.
I won't make any comments to what you just said.
Yeah, sorry, Chloe. I know you're part of them now. You're the enemy, I'm afraid.
To be fair, your answer is very similar to mine. I think for me, it would be I would struggle going to play against Worcester in the competition. So yeah, completely agree with what you said. So it's no problem at all.
No, I feel like you want to justify it to yourself as well, don't you? Like, even though there's obviously like no bad blood between me and Northants whatsoever, it was just the right move for me at the time in the period of my life that I was to go to Leicestershire.
Yeah.
I needed a bit of a change up and stuff for me, but I think like you always kind of want to justify to yourself that you made the right call and stuff, and rightly or wrongly that probably means beating your old team, even if like there's no bad blood or anything like that. So yeah, I feel we're on the same page with that one.
100%. And heading into year 2 of Project Darwin, how have you found it so far? And is there anything that you think could be improved in terms of tier 2 cricket?
Oh, good question. I mean, for me, it's maybe hard for me to say because like I'm not trying to put too fine a point on the fact that I'm one of the older girls, but I think when you're trying to juggle a system that's pushing to be like more professional and demand more of the people in it, which it absolutely should, right? Like we all want that for the women's game. We all want it to be professional. I just kind of wish it happened like 10 years earlier for me. But I think the demands on people who aren't doing it as a full-time job, aren't in that tier 1 system where you're being like compensated for the time and effort you're putting in and stuff. Like it's absolutely my decision to play for Leicestershire and travel quite far from like where I live and stuff like that. But I think like the demands and expectations at that level are like quite a lot, maybe if you're not like being paid for it and stuff like that, which is totally fine. There's other things that have like drastically improved, like no one's paying for kit, we're all getting our gear and everything like sorted for us. There's some like compensation for travel, things like that. Like it's definitely on the up, but I'm maybe not in the right place to sort of say like, oh, like I hope it becomes this and I hope it becomes that, because like unfortunately I'm probably not the like target audience for the setup as it is at the moment. I'm just fortunate to still be getting like picked and enjoying it and stuff while my body is still letting me, as much as anything. So yeah, I mean, I just hope that the game continues to grow, and I absolutely think that should be the track it the women's game is on, and I hope it does only go from strength to strength. I thought it was a little bit weird that stuff was like frozen in terms of like no one's getting promoted or relegated. I thought it didn't really give much incentive to some teams. I mean, obviously, like I said, we all set out wanting to win games. Like that's why we play a competitive level of cricket. But like when nobody's going down and nobody's going up and things like that, I think like I like semi get the logic why, but I think locking it in for like, was it 3 years or something that it was like gonna stay that way for? I thought that was a bit like of a long time to work out if something worked or not. I think rasher decisions have been made in the game for less, if you know what I mean. So yeah, but that's just my perspective on it. I think it's a great setup, and like I said, I just wish I was 20, not 28 at the moment. But there you go.
That's a really interesting perspective on it. And then looking ahead to the season, is there a player who you think we should keep an eye on who might have a breakout year from Leicestershire?
Ooh, that is tough. I would say maybe in a couple of the warm-up games, Anjali caused us a few issues, little leggy. And that sounds really patronizing when I say little, but anyone younger than me is little. And yeah, I think she took like 5 wickets, 6 wickets, something like that in our warm-up game. And I think like, yeah, I think if you can bowl like that, I'm not sure how old she is, maybe like 19, 20, but I think like if you're causing players like that big of a problem, I mean, leg spin generally I think is a pretty tough discipline in the women's game. I think there's probably not loads of it, and therefore it's not something we all like work against very consistently, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I think definitely she can hold a bat as well, definitely hold her own. So I think, I don't know, yeah, I'd be interested to see how Anjali's season goes at Leicestershire. No pressure on her, obviously, but that's just my 2 cents.
And then in terms of not Leicestershire, is there a player outside of Leicestershire, another tier 2 side that you enjoy watching play?
Well, I'm not trying to centre all my answers around the only 2 clubs I've played for, by the way, but I think Beth Ascott of Northants. I think last year, like I said, I played for Northants for a long time. Always thought Beth Ascott was like a very, very good player. Always knew she was an absolute rocket in the field, and yeah, could definitely bat and all of this. But I think like last year, coming up against her, I definitely saw a different player to the one I'd known from like years prior and stuff. So I think like I'd love to see her do well. She's a good friend as well as, you know, just now a opposition and competitor. But yeah, I'd be kind of excited to see if she's been able to even like grow on that, because she was producing like really consistent scores and getting Northants out of the occasional tricky situation we all find ourselves in and stuff. And so yeah, I'd love to see how her season pans out and if she's like built any more on what she did. I knew she worked really hard as well. I knew she was getting like a lot of help as well, like outside of county stuff as well, and was really like putting the energy into her game and sacrificing, you know, whatever we all sacrifice to make the time and yeah, turn up for ourselves. So yeah, I'd love to see how her season pans out.
And then we've spoken a lot about the start of the season, but when we get to the end of the season, what does a successful year look like for you personally and for the Foxes?
For me personally, I want to have just enjoyed it. I mean, I'm not criticising Leicestershire, like this is elite sport, obviously. But I think last year being in and out of the squad was like really difficult for me to take, and it was happening at quite a like difficult time in my personal life as well. I had lost my dad shortly before partaking in, no, it was like whilst I was partaking in trials for Essex, Leicestershire, and Northants and stuff. And so heading into a year where stuff wasn't really like very consistent for me, whilst also like grieving and not being able to talk to like the one person that I would have spoken to about those difficulties, you know, was really difficult for me. And I definitely took a lot to heart, definitely considered whether I was even doing the right thing playing at all, and like putting myself through that while I was kind of contending with so much like in my personal life. So I think like for me, success is just remembering why I play cricket, and like, yes, okay, it's getting a lot more serious now, and it's, you know, they're trying to professionalize the game, but actually like at the end of the day, we all go out there because we want to have a nice time and enjoy it and stuff. And I think last year became so much about like trying to prove myself and trying not to like, you know, like let myself down and crumble under the kind of like pressure I was putting on myself and stuff. I think like that probably happened a bit too much last year, and I put too much on myself. So this year's success just looks like, yeah, obviously getting a few runs, like contributing to the team, like absolutely that's top of everyone's, you know, list of dreams when they're heading into the season and what they want it to look like at the end. But I think like just remembering to enjoy the game and why you picked up a bat or ball in the first place, really, and getting out there and having a good time in the sunshine with a talented group of girls, really. But in terms of the Foxes, yeah, I think generally speaking, again, like I said, got quite a young squad. I think there's about 10 new girls in it. So I think it's about working out if, you know, like putting the challenge to other teams. And there's a lot of girls who I've not even like seen loads of in terms of, you know, you always tend to get slots where you seem to face the same people and stuff. So I think it's just, you know, seeing what that young talent has to offer, like whether that they're in the future for Leicestershire as well in the next few years. Because I mean, everyone's goal is to get into like tier 1 eventually, right? So yeah, just get to the end of it and work out if they made the right decisions. And yeah, if we can hold our own in that tier, I think if we get there, which would be great.
No, thank you for that. Thank you for sharing, obviously, that personal side as well for you.
Yeah, sorry to bring the vibe down, guys. That wasn't the intent. No. It's just that is what my season was like last year, really. So
no, it's all good. All good. We're a love and supporting podcast here. And then to finish, this is probably Rose's favourite part, is the quickfire questions. Okay, are you ready for the first one?
Yes.
I think I know the answer to this. T20 or 50 over?
50 over.
Bat first or ball first?
Oh, depends on the deck, but I think I always like scoreboard pressure, so I'm going to say bat first.
And across your cricketing career, who is the best bowler you've ever faced?
Oh, you say quick fire. Oh my gosh. Trying to think some of the players we faced in our time. I'm panicking. I don't know. Can I pass? Every player I've ever known has just immediately gone out my head.
What about when you're at Sunrisers? Anyone?
Oh, well, when you only played one game for them, that's rough. I'm going to say in the nets, I never liked facing Naomi Datani that much. I was like, left arm always got me, and she was pretty like quick for what I probably would have faced at the time. So yeah, she caused me a few problems.
Teammate most likely to be late for team meet time?
Holly Whitfield, probably.
The music in the dressing room, who's in charge?
Oh, it used to be Sophie Bennett, but now that's probably, I want to say like Flora or Danica or Holly. Yeah, like anyone young. I don't even try and put my music on. I just don't need that kind of feedback in my life.
Biggest joker in the dressing room?
Maybe April Harake. She's got quite a dry sense of humor that I enjoy a lot. She's good.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee. I used to be tea, but coffee now.
And then a series you're watching at the moment?
Oh, great question. I just started Shrinking, which I think is like an Apple TV one. Yeah, you're excited by that. Great. Shrinking's fab. If you don't know what it is, look it up. Harrison Ford, Jason Segel, one of those. And yeah, just great cast, really good. Does touch on grief, but like hilarious. So well written. Love it.
And from tier 3, next up, we've got the captain of Buckinghamshire, Cara Duggan.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Good, thanks.
First and foremost, what's the vibe like in the squad heading into the new season?
It's quite good, actually. We've gained quite a few. Like, our squad is really, really different this year. We've lost a few to sort of various things, so it's quite a different squad, but it's quite good, actually. I think we've got a lot of new players that are really looking forward to the season. They've been really keen over the winter.
we've got lots of young ones that are really keen as well. So we're quite off the back of last year, which is quite successful for us. I think everyone's quite hopeful going into the new year. Just we've had some great sessions and really enjoying it.
And what's the expectation within the group this year?
I don't really know. I think we've been lucky enough to, well, fingers crossed for the weather, we've managed to now have a home game and a friendly game at Wormsley on the 11th. So hopefully we should sort of air out quite a lot of the jitters of sort of the new players, just of the young players, ease them in to sort of the tiered system. We're playing Berkshire as well, which is a pretty good start. Like, we've got 2 T20s against them. I think it's trying to maintain sort of where we were last year. We did, I don't want to say surprisingly well, but we did really well last year, considering that we were still quite a young squad. We had a few new players. So this year we're looking really hopeful. I think we've got quite a good squad this year. We've really found some really good people. So hopefully just maintaining where we were last year, trying to get into another final and see where that sort of takes us.
What's the biggest thing that you're personally focusing on heading into the new season?
I mean, well, not getting injured is a good start. I've hurt my back over the winter and been a bit up and down. So finally back up and running. But for a team, I think, again, maintaining that level, I think I have quite a big role in the team, and I'm all rounder. I'm the captain. Like, there's a lot that's going on. I'm a coach for some of the girls as well, which is really exciting this year. So I think mainly my big focus is to focus on all the others. I think I've kind of reached that point. I say I've reached that point and I'm only 22, but I've reached that point in my cricket where I'm still trying to progress myself. It's really exciting, but like, I love bringing on all the other players. I love seeing them perform, seeing them do their best. So this year for me, it's all about sort of showing them all off and hopefully creating that team atmosphere where everyone feels really good to perform their best, and hopefully we'll get the best out of it.
And apart from the injuries, have you worked on anything new this winter that we might see in the season, whether that's something with the ball, something with the bat, or even part of your captaincy?
I've done quite a lot of batting over the winter. I haven't had as much opportunity to bowl, so I have worked on a couple of things with bowling, but I had to step up, which is really lovely. I've batted a lot more in the last few years, and I think I had some sort of tweaks that I wanted to do. I've got sort of confidence in playing different shots and knowing what works for me and what doesn't in different game scenarios as well. So it's been quite exciting over the winter to sort of play bat on ball, bowling machines, everything on those shots to sort of fine tune everything, which is quite a nice option to have now that we've got sort of consistent coaches and we've got consistent training, which is really good. So it has been quite, like, I've really enjoyed my batting this winter. Hopefully it'll show fingers crossed in the season, but yeah, I've really enjoyed working on sort of different shots and my confidence in my batting.
Who's the toughest opponent you're expecting to face this season?
I mean, in leagues, I think it's got to be Devon. I think we unfortunately didn't play our best last season against Devon. We didn't play them in the T20s, but which, you know, we didn't end up getting to play them against in the final, which was a bit of a shame because we wanted our own back. But yeah, Devon will be a big one this year. They came very strong last year, had quite a few sort of senior players that were really, really good at keeping their morale high, keeping their standards high. It was really good to watch. It was brilliant to see such a great team, to be honest. So yeah, I think Devon's probably travelling away to them again this year. So hopefully on a bit of more of a high this year, Devon will be a really good opponent for us to step up to the challenge.
And heading into year 2 of Project Darwin, how have you found it so far? And are there any areas that you think could be improved in terms of tier 3?
I think it ran probably quite smoothly last year, considering everything was really new for everyone. It was new for, you know, Ben, our coach. It was new for all coaches, new players, whoever really, organisers, umpires. So it was nice for all of us to sort of have that ease in year. And obviously we did quite well adapting to it. I think I was interviewed by Bill Scholes the other day. And I think probably the biggest one is even at tier 3 level, we really want to align ourselves to the tier 2 and tier 1 game. I think that's obviously where a lot of girls are striving to be at, and the best way forward for that is by bringing it down to us, all the rules, the regulations, everything. So I think the one thing that we struggled with last year is that I felt like I was constantly having a battle with umpires about leg side wides. Like, I don't know why. I don't know what the reason behind the UCB putting in the regulations that it was profile wides, but every team that we came up against were like, we don't understand. Like, everyone we played, Devon, Wiltshire, Berkshire, everyone we played was like, we don't understand it either. Like, so every time I felt that, and some umpires were like, well, it's the regulations. And I'm like, but if we're trying to align ourselves with tier 2 and tier 1 cricket, which is obviously the standard that we're aiming for, we should be aligning ourselves fully aligning ourselves, so that when we go and play, like we played Sussex last year in the T20 Cup, which was an amazing experience, first of all. But obviously, we then step up and play all the regulations of a tier 2 against a tier 2 team. Like, it's a simple thing, leg side wides, but it I think it really, like, I know it elevates my game, having that restriction in there, and I love playing it. Like, I think that's the best way forward. So it's probably the only thing was bringing that in and aligning ourselves with the tier 2, so that when our girls play up or they play academy level cricket, because we've got a few of those as well, they're not stepping down to us and having to jiggle around their game to play. It'll be exciting for them to come down and be at the same standard where they can really show off what they can do compared to that level as well. So I think that's probably one of my only things. And it was a query that pretty much all captains that I came up against and we came up against last year were saying to us as well. So it wasn't anything new to them. So something like that, so that we're not having that battle with umpires every game, would probably be my only thing. I think apart from that, it was pretty good. Really enjoyed it.
And then looking ahead to the season, is there a player who we should keep an eye on who might have a breakthrough year from Bucks?
I think it's quite difficult to pin it all on one player. I think we're fortunate enough in Bucks, and I'm sure other counties have the same, where in previous years when I have felt, with lots of younger players, I felt quite relied on myself. I think it's so awesome the last couple of years that we've got so many players stepping up and taking on roles of vice captaincy or opening bowler, Charlie May, opening bowler, or opening batter, Annie Townsend. Obviously, both Annie and Tash did brilliantly over the winter. Tash was out in Australia and Annie was training with Gloucestershire. So those two on sort of the older front, probably at the moment, are older two, looking to obviously Tash in challenges as well with Chloe. It's all that, but I think we have got a couple that are quite exciting. I've got to mention Tegan Stockdale. I love her. She's a close family friend as well, but I think she's shown real dedication over the winter. She's in a Viper CPP. She's doing brilliantly. She's been, I know the sessions that I've been there and I've been with her, she's constantly asking, what can I do better? How can I improve in all areas of her game, even though she's focused quite heavily on her batting? Like, she's fully focused, and her ability has come on leaps and bounds over the last couple of years. So we're really hoping that she can take that next step by showing her off this year, which is absolutely what we're here to do, to get her into that next level. But all the girls are really exciting. But Tegan's been one for the last couple of years that we've really tried to bring on and are really excited about, and have been. Bucks has been excited about her since she joined in under 11s or whatever it was. So we're definitely looking to see what all of our young players can do.
And if we look outside of Bucks, can you think of one player from another tier 3 side that you enjoy watching them play, or you always think that they're a big competition when you play against them?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of shuffling around, which is obviously brilliant, because it means those different counties were getting so much opportunity to play so many different players. I think to bring it back to Devon, probably, I think Katie Donovan, I played with her at Western Storm. I knew going into that game that she was I got a golden duck against her, so it wasn't exactly ideal, but I knew that her bowling is just amazing. She's gone out and captained the Philippines as well, so she's really taking everything on. But yeah, she's always she's always a formidable person, even when I was training with her when we were 18, 19. Like, she was absolutely brilliant. So as a usual bowler, it's really awesome to see people getting so good at their craft. It's nice to appreciate, like, I've got, you know, and I try to tell the girls, like, you don't have to just be frustrated, like, appreciate that you've got a good ball, appreciate watching them be a good player. Like, that's what the sport is all about. You're appreciating a player. But she's definitely enjoyable to watch when she bowls.
And then we've spoken a lot about the start of the season, but looking ahead, when we get to the end of the season, what does a successful year look like for you personally and for Bucks?
Me personally, like, I'm fortunate enough that I can sort of have both my feet in with sort of whatever I do, batting, bowling, fielding, captaincy. I've kind of got it all. So I am lucky that I get that opportunity most of the time to perform. I think some consistent games of doing my role really well will only benefit the team. I'd love a good few scores, some wickets. Like, I didn't get as many wickets last year. But yeah, some just consistency. I'd prefer to be a consistent taker of sort of 2 or 3 wickets, always contributing, rather than be sort of off and on. So bowling, batting, fielding, I'd like to take some good catches, some run outs. Sort of, I can put myself there as well, so it's quite nice. But in terms of the team, giving everyone the opportunity that they absolutely deserve. We've had really, really good winter with loads of the girls, loads of the new girls, loads of our Bucks girls, and 18s, 15. Like, we've had a really exciting winter. So giving everyone the chance that they deserve, so that they're actually able to not just feel really good in themselves, but to really contribute to the team. I think having so many games and spread sort of evenly apart, we do provide that opportunity. People are away, or they've got exams, whatever it is. It'll be really exciting to see those players come forward. And I think sort of success on that end will be that everybody's been able to contribute, and everybody did contribute last year. So looking forward to sort of onwards and upwards towards the end of the season will be really exciting, just knowing that everyone will have contributed really well and been happy with themselves and feel successful for them.
Just to finish, we're going to do a bit of a quick fire question. Okay,
Yeah.
So it'll sort of be like a this or that, or you've got an option to give an answer in sort of a quick speed.
Yeah,
right?
nice. Sweet. Yeah, right. Ready.
T20 or 50 over?
T20.
First or bowl first?
Bowl first.
The best bowler you faced as a batter?
Oh my gosh, this is taking me back. Probably Fee Morris when I was in Vipers. She was just unreal.
Teammate most likely to be late for team meet time?
Oh, Stockdale's, hands down. We give them different times now.
I retweet that.
Yeah, like, we love them. I absolutely love them, but bless them, they are late.
Music in the dressing room, who's in charge?
Amelia Ridgway.
Biggest joker in the dressing room?
Oh, it might have to be Amelia Ridgway again.
Big question, coffee or tea?
Tea. I'm not a fan of coffee.
And in a series you're watching at the moment?
Oh, Mum and I have got into The Mentalist. I can't actually remember what we're watching it on. It might be Prime or something like that, but we're absolutely hooked. We've gone through like 4 or 5 seasons or whatever it is. Like, the episode's just never ending every time. We're loving that at the moment. Random, but love it.
My sister's obsessed with The Mentalist. So
yeah, it's so
prove.
good. It's so good. We're absolutely loving it.
And I guess finally, just to finish, I'm going to put you on the spot. Can you let the listeners know when your first league game is of the season, against who and where it is?
Yes, so first league game of the season is on the Sunday, the 19th of April. I believe it's T20s against Hertfordshire, and very excitingly, we're playing at Wormsley, Oxford way. So super excited. It's a brilliant ground. The girls are really, really excited. So should be a great day.
Back to Tier 1, we've got Ryana MacDonald-Gay of Surrey.
Hiya.
Hey.
Hey.
You okay?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, good, thanks.
Good. Okay, you ready?
Yeah. already.
Right, first. Okay. What's the vibe like in the squad right now heading into the season?
I think everyone's really excited. Obviously came off the back of getting into the semis last year for the 50 over comp and off the T20 Blast trophy. I think everyone's really excited. I think we now have a bit more of an understanding of how the county system works, and I think with Yorkshire being added, it'll bring even more competition. So yeah, really, really looking forward to going into the season, and I think the vibe's really good.
What's the expectation within the group heading into the year?
I don't think there's been any expectations put on us. Obviously, you know, winning the trophy for the Blast last year does come with that sort of we're the team to beat. So I think there's no expectations from staff, but maybe just from player perspective. It'd be really nice to get back in the finals of both of the comps. I think having fallen short in the semi-final and the 50 over last year was quite disappointing. So hopefully this year we can make it, and then just try and aim for the final again for the T20 Blast, because it was so much fun, and I think we have a really good T20 sub this year.
What's the biggest thing you are personally focusing on heading into this season?
Personally, I would say getting back into the rhythm of things. I think obviously having been out with this injury for quite a few months now, you know, missed out on a lot of development time over the winter. I think that's just the aim, try and get back into the same rhythm I was in last year and try and be as successful as last year and just match sort of last year's quality. I think I was in a really good place to then try and kick on for the following year. But so yeah, hopefully just get back to that position.
Obviously, the injury might have hampered your winter preparations, but is there anything new you've been working on over the winter that we might see in the new season?
I guess taking a break from bowling a little bit has allowed me to work a bit more on my batting. Not loads, but yeah, hopefully it's improved a bit. I feel like I have a bit more clarity over my game at the moment, sort of knowing what I want to work on and things like that, and sort of how I plan to line up against seam and spin. I think hopefully you'll see more of that this year.
And who do you think the toughest season? Who do you think the toughest opposition is going to be this season in the 50 over comp and the T20 comp?
I think Blaze always pretty solid 50 over side. You know, they have quite a lot of grit in their batting order. You know, lots of people coming. You just seem to never be able to get certain people out, and even when you're on top, someone else still comes in from them thinking they're going to win the game. So I feel like that's always a really challenging mindset to play against in the 50 over stuff. And then T20, I would probably say Lancs. They obviously did the County Cup last year, and you know, they just look really strong and solid and kind of have a good game plan, or they did last year. So I think they're always quite a hard side to play against, just because they also have that similar mindset of never letting the game be over until it's over.
Obviously, we're now heading into year 2 of Project Darwin. How have you found it so far? And are there any areas that you'd like to see changes?
No, I think it's been really good. Obviously lining up with the men and being sort of like one club has been really good to see. I think the branding and everything that's come out from it has really helped the women's side of things, being able to have the same sponsors, you know, those bigger sponsors, and being associated with a bigger named club compared to the regional system. I think that's really good. What changes? I mean, obviously Yorkshire are coming in, and then Glamorgan will be coming in. So it's just, I guess, whether that quality stays when they join. So I guess, yeah, I mean, probably just seeing more development from academies and lower teams. I think trying to push tier 2 and tier 3 and the academy sides to be of a better quality, which enables them to challenge positions of first teams. I think it's not really there at the moment. There's not many players who can challenge the first team environment from tier 2 and academies. So I'm hopefully that that can change and develop and grow.
And for Surrey, is there any players that we should keep an eye on this year who you think is going to have a breakthrough season?
I think, given the opportunity, Jemima Spence, I think she could do really well. And I think it's just all based on opportunities. I reckon there's a couple of girls who didn't get much chance last year, who have looked really good all winter. I think Kingy looks really good in the nets and really explosive in the T20 stuff, and obviously Jimmy with the 50 over stuff. And I think, who else? I'm trying to think of like a bowler.
Any experienced pros in the side who you think this might be their year?
I actually think it could be. I think Cara might have quite a good year. I feel like. Oh, and Tilly will have a really good year. I think she has looked really good all winter. What she's been doing with the ball and everything like that has been amazing. She looks really clear, and she's just, yeah, she looks really good. I think even not just her bowling, but all aspects of her game, that's really thrived. And yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Kira goes with being captain. I think, you know, she's been looking really good with the gloves and with the bat. So hopefully she can provide a few, you know, captain knocks this year.
And then looking outside of Surrey for a second, can you think of a player you love watching outside of Surrey?
I mean, I love watching Lex bowl. I think it's been great to watch her grow and her game develop. So I think I've always loved watching her play.
I love the loyalty there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a little bit of a cheek. She's still a Surrey, but it's a really tough question. Like, who do I love watching? Like, I love watching Crossy bowl. I think she's a great person to watch and like learn from, and the things that she does. Like, she has so much experience, so it's not just with the ball, but like in all game situations, she has a really good head on her. So I think, you know, watching her, you're always going to learn something from that. So I think that's always great in tier 1.
And then obviously we've spoken quite a lot about the start of the season. If we fast forward to the end of the season, what does a successful year for you personally look like, and for Surrey?
I think for me personally, it will look like playing as many games as I can, getting back into the swing of 50 over, and getting some match play on that side of things. I think if I come out the season with a lot of clarity and sort of looked back and thought, you know what, I've done everything I can there, and things like that, and prep myself as well as I can in order to stay fit and be the best on the pitch at that time, I think that would be successful for me. And I think for Surrey, I think if everyone can just contribute a little bit every game, I think we're a really tough side to beat. So I think a successful story, I guess, of what Surrey would look like at the end would be if there's been multiple contributions from different people across the year.
And then we like to end our interviews with a little bit of fun, quickfire questions.
Okay.
First of all, T20 or 50 over?
50 over.
Bat first or bowl first?
Bowl first.
Best bowler you faced?
Or we can flip it because you're a bowler.
Yeah.
Best batter that you bowled against?
Ever? Or
Can
just
be anywhere.
one?
No, ever. Because you're
Meg
a genuine
Lanning.
all-rounder, you can give us an answer for both.
Oh, Meg Lanning for hard like batter, and bowler Marizanne Cap.
Big question. Teammate who is most likely to be late for team time?
Callie.
Music in the dressing room. Who's in charge?
Who is it? That's a great question. I have no clue. Guy? RSC?
Amazing. The biggest joker in the dressing room?
Kingy.
It's a big one. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
And what is the most recent series you're watching at the moment or have just watched?
The Night Agent.
That's 2 we've had. Another person said that.
Oh, really? It's good.
Yeah, I finished it. It's good. I'll give you that.
Maybe I need to give it a watch.
Yeah, you do. It's really good.
So for our listeners, can you tell us when your first game of the season is, against who and where it is?
It's on the 11th of April against Warwickshire Edgbaston.
We're doing something a little bit different with our next Tier 2 player, because when we were arranging interviews, Chloe said to me, "Who should we get?" And I said, "Well, I mean, I don't know if you've forgotten this, but you're playing in Tier 2. I don't think we talk enough about your cricket." So our next interviewee is Chloe.
Woo! Let's go.
First of all, what's the vibe like in the squad right now, heading into the new season?
Yeah, really good, to be honest. From when I came on loan middle of last season with them, like the team cohesion was so good. So yeah, the vibe in the squad is positive. Everyone's happy. People are all back now from Australia who went abroad this winter. So yeah, I'd say we're in a really, really, really good space at the moment.
What's the expectation within the group heading into the season?
Yeah, I think ultimately to go one step further. So 50 Eayrs obviously made the semi-finals and missed out against Glamorgan last season. So yeah, like 50 Eayrs try and get to the final, and T20 sort of try and get to that playoff sort of stage. Obviously, I missed out the T20 block with them last year, so I didn't really see how they really went against other teams. But I think with the players we've got and the talent we've got in the group, T20 cricket could be really exciting as well.
What's the biggest thing you're personally focusing on heading into the new season?
Can I say staying fit and not being injured? I think for me this winter, I think obviously I've been in Dubai, I've been coaching, I've been to India again. So like I probably haven't trained as much as I would have liked to this winter. But still saying that, I train quite a lot in Dubai. So I think, yeah, ultimately staying fit, being on the park, and I guess contributing with the runs where I can in the season ahead. Obviously, behind the stumps, working with the captain, Anisha and Gemma Marriott. But yeah, hopefully, you can contribute with the bat a little bit more this season.
Have you been working on anything new over the winter that we might see this season?
Yeah, I think naturally as a batter, you sort of play around with your stance, your grip, and that's certainly, I guess, the influence side that I had from Dougie Brown in Dubai was sort of where I stand to each bowler in the crease, but also just like the change of a little change in my grip technically, and sort of my pickup, which I have sort of started to see the benefits of more and more practice of doing that over this winter. And yeah, it feels natural now for when I go in the net. So yeah, just sort of staying on top of that technical side.
Who's the toughest opponent you're expecting to face this season?
Great question. Mentally, I'll say Worcestershire. Obviously, if people know my playing background, obviously played at Worcester for 9 seasons, and obviously things probably didn't end how I wanted to last year. So I think the mental side of the game, even going to New Road to play against Worcester, I think will be quite a tough battle, maybe to come across. But I guess playing strength-wise, I guess it would be hard not to say Glamorgan, because they're obviously going to be a tier 1 side next year. But ultimately, we had some good competitions against them last year. So, I don't know. Probably Glamorgan. We'll stick with them.
Heading into year 2 of Darwin, how have you found it so far? And are there any areas that could be better? I feel like I should say we talk about this quite a lot on the pod. But just pick one.
Look, I'll be positive. This is fine. I think there are so many benefits to Project Darwin, and obviously us interviewing other players as well. I think you'll hear that side of it as well. I think what it's done for the women's game, sort of added in that competitive element from tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. In tier 2, I guess every county is playing at a first-class venue. So that's been something, I guess, really, really good. In terms of maybe what could be better for Tier 2 is probably the lack of coverage on a game day. So whether that's in terms of commentary or live stream of the games, I think that's probably been a weak link for Tier 2, and hopefully something that we might see or that might be better. And I guess also the promotion side or finals day for Tier 2s needs to be 10 times better.
Is there a player we should be keeping an eye on who might break out this year from Northants?
Yeah, I'm going to say 2 because I can. This is my podcast as well as yours. I'm going to say Bethan Robinson. She's just recently signed on Warwickshire Academy this winter, and keeping to her last season and seeing her tear through some batting lineups with her pace. Yeah, she's certainly one to be looking at. And also Amelia Kemp, who's had a winter out in Australia, but she's also just signed on the Yorkshire Academy this winter. She's an exceptional all-rounder with the bat and with the ball as well. So yeah, I think those 2 will be 2 maybe key breakthrough players that we can see this season.
Who's a player you love watching outside of your team? Can I just say to the listeners, Chloe's really struggling with this question. She wrote the questions.
You're not meant to tell people that. Do you know what? In terms of if I put on a bit of a coach mental hat, I think I'm kind of looking forward to see Jen Gier perform for Kent. Obviously, we've just seen her be named in the England Under-19 Tri-Series squad. And obviously, I saw her when I was at South East Stars. So, yeah, it'd be really, really exciting to see how she goes for Kent, because when she gets going, she's a very, very lovely batter to watch, and is a genuine all-rounder.
And then when we get to the end of the season, what does a successful year look like for you personally and for Northants?
For me personally, it'd be playing every game injury-free, and I guess getting through the season. But actually, no, I think it would be to know that I've contributed with the bat, so scoring 50s and hopefully pushing on for that, maybe that big score for Northants in that environment. And I think for the team, trophies probably ultimately is the answer. We were sort of close to it last year, so I think, can we go that one step further? And yeah, at the end of the season, hopefully we're going to that awards night with the men having 2 trophies in the 50 over and T20.
I am going to make you do the quick fire. Are you ready?
Yep.
T20 or 50 over?
50 overs.
Bat first or bowl first?
Bat first.
Best bowler you faced?
Do you know what? Probably Mealy Kerr. When I was in the 100 at London Spirit, her leg spin was an absolute joke. So yeah, Mealy Kerr probably.
We love Mealy Kerr. Teammate most likely to be late for team meet time?
Amelia Kemp.
Music in the dressing room, who's in charge?
Do you know what? It actually varies. So Anisha Patel probably. She has a big boom box. But then there has been times over this winter where I have been left to be in charge of the music. But no, I'll probably say Anisha Patel just sticks on a good all-round sort of playlist that everybody loves, and some old school songs, some new ones. And yeah, I whacks out the boombox out of her car every week at training as well.
Biggest joker in the dressing room?
Emily Carpenter. It's got to be Carps. And probably just on her, she's a really exciting left-arm seamer on the Blaze Academy. So, yeah, I think everyone should also maybe keep an eye out on her as well for this season.
Coffee or tea?
Tea, Yorkshire tea all day long. I think I drink way too much tea. Way too much.
Love that answer. Series you're watching at the moment?
Do you know what? I'm watching quite a few, but the one that I'm watching at the moment that is taking me a lifetime because I started it from the beginning is called The Good Doctor on Netflix, and I absolutely love it. Yeah, have it on if I'm just at home or have like an hour to myself, I'll stick it on. But also Married at First Sight Australia, love the juicy drama in that.
That was fun. I should interview you more often.
Thanks. Maybe we'll see in the season if I'm on a good run. We'll do another interview.
I mean, I'll have to get down to a few of your games this year. We've got to have live 2 Tiers Deep podcasts.
100%, and maybe some like player interviews after the game as well will be really good. And to finish up on this pod, we've got a duo from Hertfordshire of Chloe Eayrs and Jenna Botha. Enjoy.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. And Chloe, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Yeah, I'm good.
Perfect. So we're going to get going with the first question. So, Jenna, what is the vibe like in the squad right now heading into the season?
I think there's a bit of anticipation for what the season will bring, to be honest. Last season, can't say was our strongest, so hopefully this year will be a bit of a fight back, and we'll see. It's all new still, so we'll see.
And then, Chloe, what's the expectation heading into the season in the group?
Yeah, I think probably we weren't as happy with where we were last season. So it's probably building on last season, particularly in a batting sense, and taking the lessons from that and hopefully applying them better this season.
So this is aimed at both of you. What's the biggest thing that you are both individually like focusing on heading into the season?
I think for me, I'm just coming off the back of an injury, so it's kind of getting back into it and just getting to full bowling intensity where I can start taking wickets again, to be honest.
Yeah, I think I've probably done quite a lot batting wise, some like fundamental stuff, which because I started cricket a bit later, I was kind of more 12, 13, I probably haven't done in the past. So it's been nice to go back and go over some of those things, which will hopefully make a big impact in the summer.
You've both touched on it there, but is there anything specific skill-wise you've been working on over the winter that we might see come out for the first time in the new season?
Oh, I don't know if I should reveal all my secrets, but I think for me, I've always been more like I've always leant towards the knuckleball as my slower ball variation. So I think this year we're going to see some different variations of the variations, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I think probably similar bowling variations. I've done a lot of technical work on kind of stock ball. So over this winter, it's been a bit, can I bowl an arm ball and have a look at a couple of other options in that sense.
Obviously, you both experienced a year now in Tier 3. Who do you think your toughest opponent is going to be in the 50 over comp and the T20 competition?
I think last year, our toughest fixture, I would say, was playing against Staffordshire. They brought a very strong team, actually, like batting wise, and bowling. They had some incredible seamers that swung the ball miles. So I'm assuming that this year they're going to come bigger and better. So
yeah, I think definitely Staffordshire. Like we got to a very good position against them, and then one of their batters got to 100, and that was kind of game over a bit. But I think all the kind of, for us, especially being kind of a bit younger and still doing some age group stuff, all the local teams of kind of Norfolk, Suffolk, they're always quite a big match, and you want to win those ones. Bucks as well.
And then heading into year 2 of Project Darwin, how have you found it so far? And are there any areas that you think maybe could be improved on? What have you enjoyed?
I think what's been really interesting, maybe not so much enjoyed for some Tier 3 teams, is the mobility between the tiers, especially Tier 2 and Tier 3. Like there's been a lot of Tier 2 names that have played regularly in Tier 3, and sometimes to the detriment, as we experienced in Berkshire last year with like Francesca Sweet just hitting runs everywhere. But yeah, it's just been interesting to see, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's probably had for us, it's been quite a mixed experience. Like, on one hand, we've had a lot more responsibility, especially being a bit younger, and we maybe wouldn't have got that chance without the tier system. Like, when the tier 2 players come down, it's great to be able to, as bowlers, to bowl at them and kind of be like, oh, where are my skills at and where do they need to improve? But yeah, I think as a team, we struggled and probably lost a few games because a tier 2 batter came and took it away from us. And without that, I think we could have maybe won a few more and stayed up or competed a bit more in the competitions.
And with Hertfordshire this year, can you both give me a name of someone who you think's going to have a standout, like a breakthrough season sort of thing?
I'm going to be really cringe and say Chloe Eayrs, because she's done so much work over the winter. I have to see it come to fruition this year, Chloe.
I was going to say you. That's not gone for... No, bowls rockets down there, and like handy with the bat as well. Can hit some runs quickly at the back end of an innings if you need it. So yeah, I'd say Jenna.
We'll be excited to see both your names then.
We love the hyping up of each other. And then, is there a player you guys like watching in tier 3 outside of your team?
Oh, what a good question. Sorry,
Or
give me a
a
moment.
particular county, if not.
Chloe?
I think there's quite a lot of younger players now that are definitely making more of a name for themselves and kind of pushing on into the women's teams. Those people are probably the ones that I'll always have a look and see how they get on at the end of the day.
I was going to say, I think at Suffolk there are a couple of quite young, talented batters that I'm excited. We're playing them in a couple of days, so excited to see them, hopefully see what they can do this year.
Nice. As a county, we'll keep an eye out for Suffolk in tier 3. So we've spoken quite a lot about the start of the season. When we get to the end of the season, what does a successful season look like for you two personally and as a team?
I think for me personally as a bowler, like, bowlers are selfish, right? It's about taking wickets, and for me, just my pace increasing as the season goes on, really challenging batters. I think as a team, it's putting more team performances together and challenging more often. I think that was where we lacked a bit last year, was the team would often have a poor batting performance rather than individuals. So hopefully this year we can string all of it together and get a strong performance in.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is kind of like overall team, like how do we improve our fielding standards and how do we improve batting? I think batting's definitely something coming into this season I'm hoping to do a lot better with, especially within the women's team. So hopefully I can help and we can have some better performances in that sense.
And just to put you both on the spot before Rosa introduces a funny side of the podcast, can you both let us know when your first game is in the campaign or who it is against?
I know we have, as I mentioned, we have a friendly this Sunday against Suffolk, but I think our first campaign game...
It'll be Bucks, won't it? So the 19th of April, if we're selected, hopefully.
So on the podcast, we the other tier 3 player we had was the Bucks women's captain as well. So I think listening to both you two and her on the pod will be quite excited.
And then we like to finish with some quick fire questions. I haven't thought through how we're going to do this with 2 people. I guess just take turns answering them. First of all, T20 or 50 over cricket?
T20.
50 over.
Bat first or bowl first?
Bowl first.
Bowl first, yeah.
Best bowler you've faced, and this can be in tier 3 cricket or it can be beyond.
Or if you're as a bowler, you can say best batter that you bowled against.
Oh, Cheska Sweet.
Yeah, she was very, very good batter. The main person that comes to my mind when I think of like hardest people to face is Greg with a sidearm.
Yeah.
He's the main one that comes into my head.
You can give your coach a shout out there.
You can have that one.
Teammate most likely to be late for a team meet time.
Oh, Eva Cullen.
Yeah, Eva.
I think that's the quickest answer to that question.
Yeah.
Music in the dressing room. Who's in charge?
Either me or Poppy. Mostly me.
Yeah, Greg contributes outside. He'll put the music on outside. So it's Jenna if we're in the changing room.
Biggest joker in the dressing room?
Eva Cullen.
Poppy's quite entertaining.
Yeah.
They'll mess around a bit, like not within reason, but they're quite entertaining. Yeah, they're always up to something.
And then this is a big one: coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Tea, but a hot chocolate over any of that.
Agree with that.
I think we've had more tea drinkers, to be fair, of all the guests we've interviewed so far.
Wow.
Yeah, we've only had 2 coffee drinkers, which is unusual.
Especially in cricket. And to finish off, what is the most recent series you're both watching?
I just finished Last One Laughing. That's what
Great series.
Good one.
Yes.
I've been watching Ted Lasso.
Nice. 2 great
Those are
series.
2 immaculate choices. Yeah, thank you so much, guys, for joining us.
Thanks for
Thank
having us.
you.
How good was that? 6 teams, 7 players. How good?
I mean, what more can you want? If you haven't come out of this podcast feeling more insightful about the new season than you did coming into it, have you really been listening?
No, and I will not apologise for if this podcast is longer than our usual podcast, because how good is it to have player insights from all 3 tiers ahead of the season?
It's going to be a big one. Thank you so much for listening.
And please make sure you all listen to Friday's episode. I cannot wait for it. We've got 2 episodes this week, people. 2 episodes. The one you've just listened to and a big one on Friday.
Make sure you keep an eye out for it. You can follow the podcast on Spotify to get notified when we drop a new episode, and on YouTube. Or you can find us on Instagram through my channels, Rosa Talks Ball.
Or through my channel, 2 Tiers Deep, CH, on Instagram.
And on X, you can also find me on Rosa Talks Ball.
And me, Chloe_Hill at 97.
You can also get in touch by contacting us on rosatalksball@gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you on Friday.
We'll see you on Friday, and a big, big good luck to everyone who has their first game this weekend.